Hey YouTube, I thought I'd get out here today and just do a quick tutorial on RC4 drive leaf sprung vehicles. I've had a few people question why my rig was so stiff, and to be honest with you, the TF2 rig, it's one of the things I enjoy about it is the fact that it performs more like a 1-1 rig. So I thought I'd give you just kind of a idea of how they perform out on the rocks. It's not going to be anything major as far as a crawl, but it will show you how the suspension works and how it kind of drops down, and to me it really mimics a 1-1 rig. And so let's get to it. This rig is a heavy rig. It weighs in at about 11 pounds, and for just about any rig that's a lot. For a short wheelbase rig, which is what this is, it is a heck of a lot. So you'll see a lot of ballooning in the tires right there, which is another thing that I absolutely love. So as we come up over this, the tires are going to drop down a little bit, and you can see my front tires off the ground there, and that's fine. I like that. That's how a 1-1 rig would be. Now as we get moving forward, that tire is going to drop down to the ground as we come across, and then here's where you're really going to notice how it just kind of drops in this front tire like a 1-1 rig, and then we'll climb up the next obstacle, but it just kind of sinks down in there. It's off the ground right there, but I'm buried on the other side of the front end. I'm fully extended on the passenger side, and then I've got the rear tire jacked up. So I mean, you've got some flex with this rig. It's not what you would get, like I said, with a linked vehicle, but that's part of the fun, and that's what I enjoy about these RC four-wheel drive rigs. So as we come up over this obstacle, we're gonna go ahead and adjust the camera so you can kind of see what we'll be looking at. All right, as we go over our first obstacle, this is where you're gonna kind of see what we're talking about, a little bit different way in which we drop in on a leaf sprung vehicle versus a linked vehicle. So my wheels dropped in, we're gonna come up over the other side, and where you're really gonna see, I love that ballooning on the tires there. That's why I do this, it's so cool. So now watch the back end as we drop in. So we still have some flex on this, as you can see, but my front tire on the driver's side is off the ground. I still have my driver rear, passenger rear, and passenger front all on the ground. So this is, like I said, is more like a 1-1 rig. Unlike a linked rig like an SCX10, you'd probably have all four on the ground right here. So let's power over this obstacle and get onto the other side. That was a little quick, sorry about that. Let's move on over here to the next, and you can see when I'm coming up this other side, that's about full flex right there. So you've got about 2 inches of flex on this rig. So I'm going to slowly drop the rear down and then come up with the front, and we'll go over this next obstacle. But you can see the flex there. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. So we're tracking with the front, and we're looking to the rear to make sure our rear is going to follow right where we went with our front tire. So up and over this obstacle, and then on to the next. Alright, so coming up this obstacle, you're going to really see what a leaf sprung suspension is all about. Let me see if I can get a good track, a good line here. So as I come up this obstacle, I'm probably going to have my driver's side front tire come up off the ground. There you go. So this is the difference between a linked rig and a leaf sprung rig. Where you'd have a linked rig, you'd probably have all 4 tires on the ground right now, but with a leaf sprung, you're going to hang one up in the air like that. And I'm fully compressed on the front, on the passenger side, and fully extended with my shock and on the driver's side. So this is one of the things I just love about these rigs. So let's move forward, and you can kind of see how we're going to get through this. It'll drop down, got all 4. And you got about 2 inches of flex right there. I'm going to have to cut this tight to make this next obstacle, this next rock. So as we come up on this next rock here, I'll get up on top of it, but we're going to have a big drop on the back end, and you can kind of see it. It's going to be pretty cool. But you get an idea of what a 1-1 rig would really be going through right here. So I'm going to climb this rock, get up on top, and I'm going to hang a tire in the air, and then we're going to drop it down real slow. So there we are. I've got my tire just hanging in the air. And again, with a linked vehicle, with the articulation, you'd probably have that hitting the ground right now. But with a leaf sprung vehicle, you got to be careful. You got to make sure you can get that thing planted. So we're just going to ease over and hopefully get this thing to drop down right in front of that rock, hit, bite, and then we're going to ease the back end down. Drag the bumper a little bit. Hopefully we bite on that front end. But if you look right there, I mean, look at that flex. I mean, it's not bad. And this is what I really enjoy about this. That front tire bites, and then we'll grab on the rear, turn in and around, and we're over onto our next obstacle. I'm going to reposition the camera, and then we'll see it from the other side. All right, so here's another kind of epic drop down. This would be nothing for a linked rig, but for a leaf sprung, this is going to be testing the suspension big time right here. So we'll come over the top, catch this front edge, drop the back down. So right there, about full. There we are. Go down and grab this next obstacle. Hopefully we get some bite with that front tire. Kind of hung up on my front bumper there, but I think we're all right. A little bit more. So now that's full flex. We're going to climb up over the top with the front tire, let the back end drop down. And look at that front tire ballooning. It's kind of hard to see it from that angle, but drop the back end down. So you look at that, I mean, for a leaf sprung vehicle, the way we've got it positioned right there, I mean, it's still some really good flex. So let's get up over the top of this and we'll reposition the camera. But this for a linked vehicle would be a piece of cake. But that's the challenge with driving a leaf sprung. We'll reposition the camera and go from there. All right, here's another obstacle that for a linked vehicle would be just an absolute piece of cake, or excuse me, for a linked. But for a leaf sprung vehicle, this poses a little bit of a challenge. Right now, I've got my driver's side front tire off the ground. I'm at full extension, so I've got to come over this, and then I got to slowly drop in, making sure that I'm not going to get high centered here. So now I've got all four tires on the ground. We'll come around, drop the back end down, and then we'll come around to our next obstacle. So with this next obstacle, this is going to pose a real big problem as we drop in on the back side. This is a really steep, difficult obstacle. It's going to really tax. So right now I've got my entire driver's side front tire up off the ground. Again, with a linked vehicle, we wouldn't have that. So we come over the back side. I've got the rear now hanging up in the air. We're going to drop the front down real slow. Catch on the back, and then drop our front end down as we go across. Hopefully not get hung up on our rock slider there. So you can see that flex. I mean, this is what I enjoy about this, is just looking at the rig and seeing it completely extended, maxed out, which is what you don't get a lot of the time in a linked vehicle, because it's just so easy for the linked vehicle to go over all the obstacles. I'm going to reposition the camera and we'll move forward. Little side hilling up a couple difficult obstacles here, and we'll move on to the linked. So this next obstacle is really going to throw us up in the air. Trust me when I say that. It's going to tax this leaf spring suspension big time. So we're going to come down, drop in real slow, go up the back side of this rock. It's going to throw me over the other side. I'm going to drop in slow with the front and then slow with the rear. Hopefully we maintain some bite on that front end. And I've only got 3 points of contact here. The driver's side tire is way off the ground. With a linked rig, it probably would be 2. This is a pretty steep incline. But I'd drop in a lot sooner with the front end than I would with this. So hopefully we maintain the bite here. We can power through this. Here we go. So this is taxing this leaf spring suspension. I mean, I'm maxed out right now. And so is my battery. Let's see if we can get up over this with the little battery we got left. Drop in slow and come over the top. And there you go. Leaf sprung vehicle over a pretty difficult retaining wall rock course. I'll show you the difference between it and the length now. Alright, so we're going to take a quick look at the linked vehicle now. And really what I want you to pay attention to is the fact that there are, at all points throughout this course, there are going to be 4 tires on the ground. Whereas with the leaf sprung vehicle, throughout this course you had, 1 tire hanging up in the air or 1 tire in the rear. And again, that's just the difference in flex. So let's go ahead and go through it and you'll see what I'm talking about. So now with the leaf sprung vehicle, this is one obstacle right here where we had a tire that was up in the ground as we drop in, but you can see with the linked vehicle we've got 4 tires on the ground, and none of our tires were ever hung up in the air. He's going to drop the rear end down. We're still got 4 tires on the ground. Let's move over here. You can see as we drop in over here, still have 4 tires on the ground. We're going to hit our next obstacle. We're going to reposition the camera. Here's another obstacle that we're going to be going up here, where we had a tire hung up in the ground with our leaf sprung vehicle. With the linked vehicle, you're going to note that our tires are on the ground pretty much the entire time here. We're going to come over the top of this, still have all 4 on the ground. So again, it's just the difference in the 2 vehicles is the way they're set up. Again, the leaf sprung vehicle is more like a 1-1. I'm going to reposition the camera and we'll come down this other obstacle and you'll see a big drop in what we're talking about. Obstacle where we had our leaf sprung vehicle with a tire up in the air. You'll see the difference here with the link. Drop down in. We still have 4 on the ground. We'll come over this obstacle. Still 4 on the ground. We're going to get some bite here. So be careful not to get our diff hung up on the rock, which looks like it is. We'll back up a little bit. Come over the top of this obstacle. There we go. Now watch as we drop down on the back side. We still have 4 tires. That's the difference, is the flex that you see there. Let me reposition here. We're going to go through our next obstacle here. Pay attention to the 4 tires on the ground. Again, this is another area that we had a tire up in the air on with our leaf sprung vehicle. Quite a bit of flex that you get out of the SCX10. And look right there, that's a ton of flex. And again, you have all 4 tires on the ground. I'm going to pop up and over this one, and we would have been hanging a tire on that one as well. This is side hilling. We did this with the leaf sprung, and had some obstacles at the end that kind of threw our tires up, and watch the difference here. So this is the obstacle that we tried to get over with the leaf sprung. Right now we've got all 4 tires on the ground with the length. Drop in on the back side, still all 4 tires on the ground. Up and over, we'll drop the back end down, still all 4 tires. And there you have it. So there you have the 2 different vehicles, the leaf spring on the right, linked on the left. 2 great rigs. You just got to attack your lines a little bit differently with each of them, knowing their limitations, being the leaf spring and the linked on the left. I mean, you can pretty much go over just about anything with it. So again, it depends on how you like to drive. Me personally, I love the challenge. So the leaf sprung vehicles really are fun for me. If you like to go over just about anything and not get hung up and not really have to think too much about what it is that you do, the Linked is probably something that you're going to want to go for. Both a lot of fun, no matter how you go. I hope you enjoyed this video today. Did my best to try and show you some differences between the two suspensions and kind of how they act on the same type course. So thanks for taking a look. Please give me a like, share. Catch you later.